Blue Origin space tourism momentum grows with upcoming NS-13 passenger reveal. Blue Origin, the aerospace venture founded by Amazon's Jeff Bezos, has once again taken center stage in the evolving narrative of commercial spaceflight with the official announcement of its next passenger manifest. The company's 13th crewed mission aboard the suborbital New Shepard spacecraft, internally designated as NS-13, continues to fuel the dream of accessible space travel for civilians. With a 6-person crew drawn from an eclectic range of nationalities, careers, and life experiences, the mission is not merely another technical exercise in private spaceflight, but a cultural milestone that underscores Blue Origin's vision of space for all. The NS-13 flight is scheduled to launch from Blue Origin's secluded launch site 1, nestled in the desert plains of West Texas. While the mission will last only about 11 minutes, it will take the crew past the Kármán line, which lies approximately 100 kilometers, 62 miles, above Earth and is widely regarded as the boundary between Earth's atmosphere and outer space. The capsule will detach from the booster mid-flight, offering passengers a brief period of microgravity and a stunning panoramic view of Earth's curvature. Both the booster and the crew capsule will then return separately to Earth, with the capsule slowed by parachutes and cushioned by a last-second retrothrust system before touchdown in the desert. Though short in duration, the impact of such flights is long-lasting, not only for the passengers but also for the broader public who increasingly see commercial spaceflight as achievable in their lifetime. The passenger roster for NS-13 includes 6 civilians, each of whom brings a deeply personal narrative to the flight. Leading the crew is Major Lisa Chan, Ret. A highly decorated former U.S. Air Force test pilot with more than 2,500 flight hours logged in experimental aircraft. Chan is one of the most experienced pilots to fly with Blue Origin to date and brings a lifetime of aerospace expertise to the capsule. Her participation not only highlights the blend of technical acumen and human curiosity behind these missions, but also pays homage to the military's long-standing role in advancing spaceflight. Joining her is Sofia Ramos, a 28-year-old Brazilian engineer and STEM advocate who has become a rising voice in the global science education community. Raised in a lower-income district of São Paulo, Ramos overcame significant social and economic barriers to pursue her dream of working in aerospace. Today, she mentors girls from underrepresented communities, and her flight on NS-13 serves as a beacon of possibility for those who aspire to explore the stars, regardless of where they come from. During the mission, she plans to carry a small Brazilian flag and a photograph of her late grandmother, who she says was the first person to tell her she belonged in the sky. Also flying on NS-13 is William Bill Raines, a 68-year-old retired high school astronomy teacher from Boulder, Colorado. For over 4 decades, Raines inspired thousands of students with his hands-on approach to science, often turning his classroom into a makeshift observatory. The flight is both a personal triumph and a capstone to his life's work. He was nominated through a national competition run by the Blue Origin-affiliated nonprofit, Club for the Future, which supports education and outreach efforts in the sciences. Raines' participation represents the vital role educators play in shaping future generations of scientists, engineers, and explorers. Another seat is occupied by Jacques Delacroix, a 54-year-old documentary filmmaker from France who has spent the last 2 decades chronicling human achievement and technological innovation. His upcoming project, Beyond the Blue, aims to capture the personal transformation of civilian astronauts and will include real-time footage and interviews from the NS-13 experience. Delacroix is especially interested in the emotional and psychological dimensions of spaceflight, what he calls the poetry of the overview effect, and how seeing Earth from space changes the way people think about borders, conflict, and shared destiny. Dr. Evelyn Monroe, a cancer survivor and biomedical researcher based in Atlanta, brings a different kind of mission to the capsule. Diagnosed with leukemia in her early 30s, Monroe overcame a difficult multi-year treatment and went on to establish a health equity research foundation focused on global access to oncology treatment. She views her seat aboard NS-13 as a symbolic gesture of triumph over adversity. She also plans to carry a 3-dimensional DNA helix model, symbolizing cellular resilience, and to record her impressions during microgravity to help inspire young patients battling chronic illness. Rounding out the crew is Darren Kimura, an inventor and clean energy entrepreneur from Hawaii known for developing advanced solar technologies adapted for extreme environments. Kimura, who also holds several patents in renewable energy applications, sees suborbital spaceflight as a stepping stone to testing sustainable technologies beyond Earth. He hopes to use the NS-13 flight to better understand how solar panels and power storage systems could be deployed in future lunar or Martian habitats. In a brief statement, Kimura said, "If we want to live off Earth, we need to make that life sustainable, and it starts with experiments like this." NS-13 marks the continuation of a deliberate, measured cadence of human spaceflights for Blue Origin, which has successfully sent dozens of passengers beyond the Kármán line since its first crewed mission in July 2021, the historic NS-16 flight that carried Jeff Bezos himself. The new Shepard vehicle, named after America's first astronaut Alan Shepard, has demonstrated an increasingly impressive safety and reusability record, with both booster and crew capsule being used multiple times across flights. Each mission further validates the technical systems that support autonomous launch, capsule separation, microgravity exposure and precision landings, without the need for pilot intervention. But Blue Origin's ambitions do not stop at suborbital tourism. Behind the scenes, the company is working tirelessly on the development of its next-generation orbital vehicle, New Glenn, which will serve as a counterpart to competitors like SpaceX's Falcon 9 and ULA's Vulcan Centaur. The heavy-lift rocket is intended to carry payloads to orbit and eventually enable deep space missions. Additionally, Blue Origin plays a critical role in NASA's Artemis program, having been selected to develop a lunar lander for future crewed missions to the Moon under the name Blue Moon. These projects suggest that the company views New Shepard not as an endpoint, but as an introductory platform, a public-facing bridge that links Earthbound humanity to its celestial future. What sets NS-13 apart from other space tourism milestones is the intentionality with which Blue Origin has curated its crew. Rather than focusing on celebrities or ultra-wealthy clients, this mission brings together individuals whose lives and values reflect larger human themes: resilience, education, innovation, storytelling, and exploration. It positions space travel not just as a commercial product but as a cultural experience that mirrors back to society its highest aspirations. The broader implications of Blue Origin's sustained suborbital program are significant. With each launch, the company normalizes the idea of civilian access to space, much like the early days of commercial aviation. The excitement surrounding NS-13 suggests that a once inconceivable dream, sending ordinary citizens to space, is becoming routine. This normalization also supports critical STEM education goals. Every time a teacher, scientist, or student takes flight, the ripple effects reach classrooms and communities far beyond the desert launch pad. As the launch window for NS-13 nears, likely to be within the next few weeks, pending final weather and technical checks, Blue Origin's momentum shows no sign of slowing. Each flight bolsters public interest, technical credibility, and operational expertise. But more than that, it reinforces a powerful message: space is not the final frontier, it is the next chapter of human civilization. And with missions like NS-13, Blue Origin is not just opening the hatch to space, it's opening the imagination of a planet.